Again, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but this time I'm doing coupling. A is for airlines. Yes, I need to inspect those. I want to check that the airlines are securely connected to the tractor. I want to check that they're securely connected at the trailer. I want to see that the airlines are not cut, splashed, chafed, worn, or tangled, not dry rotted, no indication they should leak. I don't hear air leaking out of them, and they should be held up off the vehicle so they won't rub the vehicle as I drive up and down the road. B, back of the cab, bulkhead of the trailer. Well, if I was doing only coupling, the bulkhead of the trailer wouldn't be part of it, but because I'm doing C, it is part of it. And I would say that the bulkhead has no rips, tears, cuts, or bulges in it, and that the clearance lights at the top should be securely mounted, amber in color, clean, not cracked or broken. Then C, no, that's part of the truck, we already did that. D, drive shaft, no, we already did that. E, electrical, yes, part of the coupling. So it's securely plugged into the tractor, it's securely plugged into the trailer with a little clip in place so it can't easily come unplugged. I want to check that the wire has no bare wire showing through the insulation. The insulation is not dry rotted and flaking off, and it also is being held up off the vehicle so it won't rub on the vehicle as I drive up and down the road. F, the frame, no, that's part of the truck. G, glad hands. Yes, we want to make sure the glad hands are properly connected, that the glad hand seals are not missing or damaged, so I won't have a leak here at the glad hands. Then, starting with the apron of the trailer, check that it's not broken, cracked, or damaged, and the fifth wheel skid plate, not broken, cracked, or damaged or bent. The platform, not broken, cracked, damaged, and all the parts that hold the fifth wheel skid plate and the platform together, none are loose or missing. All parts are in place. The release handle is all the way in the locked position, and there's no gap between the fifth wheel skid plate and the apron, and it should have an adequate amount of grease. Now your test truck has a sliding fifth wheel rail on it. You need to inspect that also and make sure the locking pin is in the locked position. And then check that all the mounting bolts are tight, none are missing or loose. And then we need to go underneath and look up into the jaws of the fifth wheel to see that the kingpin is, no, there's a blinker. The kingpin is not broken, cracked, or damaged or bent, and the locking jaw is securely around the shank of the kingpin. Then we can go back out. That's all you need to talk about while you're under here. But you need to go under there where you can see it while you're talking about it, or they may not give you credit for it. And then finally, we need to talk about we have enough clearance between the landing gear and the back of the truck. We have enough clearance between the tire and the bottom of the trailer. And we have enough clearance between the front of the trailer and the back of the truck that it's not going to make contact there as we drive up and down the road. That completes the coupling part. Now I'm going to continue with the trailer. I already did the bulkhead and clearance lights on the front. So down the side of the trailer, again, there should be no rips or tears, cuts or bulges in the skin like this. There should be no sheared off rivet heads, no loose or missing bolts down the frame of the trailer. When I get to the landing gear, I want to check this all the way up as far as it will go, with no debris on it to fall off and damage other vehicles as we drive up and down the road. The crank handle needs to be in a secure position, not broken, cracked, or damaged, with no loose or missing parts. All the framework of the landing gear itself should not be broken, cracked, or damaged, with no loose or missing bolts, securely mounted to the bottom of the trailer. Speaking of bottom of the trailer, take all the cross members, make sure none are missing, rusted, or bent, no holes in the floor of the trailer. The DOT reflective tape on the side of the trailer should be securely adhered and clean enough to be visible when car lights shine on them. There's a turn signal underneath. You want to check that it's securely mounted, not broken, cracked, or damaged, and amber in color. Here's another turn signal halfway down, not broken, cracked, or damaged, amber in color, clean. If there's lights up ahead, make sure you talk about them too. When you get back to the sliding tandem, tell the examiner that the sliding tandem rail is securely mounted to the bottom of the trailer. If it's welded, no cracked or broken welds. If it's bolted, no loose or missing bolts. Check that the release handle is all the way in the locked position and the locking pins are locked in place. From there, it's just like checking any other axle. We pick one. I'm going to do the front one because it's already here. This is the spring mount, securely mounted, not broken, cracked, or damaged. In this case, it's welded, so no cracked or broken welds. And if I just go under here a little bit, I can see all the other parts. I can see on the back that there's another spring mount, not broken, cracked, or damaged, with no loose or missing parts. The leaf springs None are missing, misaligned, cracked or broken. The U-bolts are holding them securely to the axle, and the torque rod is securely mounted, not broken, cracked, or damaged. Has a mounting bolt in front holding it to the spring mount, and a mounting bolt in the back holding it to the bracket on the axle. There's no shocks, there's no airbags on this suspension. It's totally spring ride. So I go on to my brakes now, checking the air hoses going to the brake chambers. They're not cut, spliced, chafed, or worn. They're not dry rotted. I don't hear any air leaking out of them. They're securely attached to the brake chamber. The brake chamber is not bent or rusted or leaking, and the clamps around the brake chamber are not loose, missing, or damaged. This is the bracket it's attached to. It's not broken, cracked, or damaged. And to see the push rod, I can see the push rod and slack adjuster from here. They're not broken, cracked, or damaged, and the pins and cotter pins holding them in place are not loose, missing, or damaged. Now I would need to release the spring brake to pull on the slack adjuster to make sure it moves no more than 1 inch. Then I'll check the foundation brake to see that there's at least a 1/4 inch of pad on the brake liner, that the brake liner is not broken, cracked, or damaged, the drum is not broken, cracked, or damaged, and no dirt, oil, or grease inside the brake drum, brake liner area. Then I'll see that the inside and outside of the inside rim and the inside and outside of the outside rim is not bent or cracked and has no welding repairs. That both of these rims should have a metal valve stem with a cap that's not damaged or leaking. This is where I'll check for proper inflation of the tire with a tire pressure gauge. The tires on the trailer also must have 2 32 to tread in every major groove, at least that much. Both of them should be evenly worn. The inside and outside sidewalls of both of these tires should have no abrasions, bumps, or cuts. And the space between the tire should be equal all the way around, with no place where one tire touches the other and no debris trapped between them. None of my lug nuts should be missing or loose. No rust trail or shiny thread to indicate a loose or stripped lug nut. My hub seals should not be leaking, and none of the bolts should be loose or missing. In here we have a little sight window. You're supposed to be able to see that the oil is up to that level. And then we go back to the mud flap. Securely mounted, not dragging on the ground, not rubbing on the tires. No loose or missing parts holding it securely in place. This is my door tie system, or part of my door tie system, so when I swing my trailer doors open, I need a way to hold the door securely open. That's what this is for. Your test trailer does not have an ABS light, but this is ABS light. It's clearly marked here, amber in color, and it's usually about 1 foot or 18 inches or so from the back of the trailer. The last light on the side of my trailer should be red in color to indicate that's the last light on the side. It's a marker light. It's not a brake light. It's not a turn signal, just a marker light, and it should be red. All the others should be amber. There's a light up there at the back. It could be red too. Drop your sheet. On the back of the trailer, tell the examiner you would ensure that all your doors open and close properly. You don't have to actually do it, but tell them you would check that they should open and close properly. All the latches work as they should with no loose or missing parts. This seal around the doors should be in place so that the doors won't leak as you drive up and down the road. The hinges should not be broken, cracked, or damaged with no loose or missing parts. All the lights on the back should be securely attached, not broken, cracked, or damaged, in red in color, except turn signals can be red, yellow, or amber, and of course your tag light's going to be white in color. The DOT bumpers should be securely in place, no cracked or broken welds, no loose or missing bolts if there's any place where it's bolted on. And all the DOT tape should be securely adhered and clean enough to be visible when car lights shine on it. If there's lights at the top, they also should be red in color, securely mounted, not cracked or broken, and clean. Now I'm going to check the other side to see if there's anything different. But what I'm really doing is grading myself before I act like I'm done. Okay, I don't see anything different on this side. What would you like me to inspect next?